Hello and welcome to this second part of the adrenal fatigue videos. In the first one I explained a little bit about the endocrine system. Now in this video I want to talk about the disruptors. So what is interrupting or having an impact on all the glands and their secretion to make your body work properly? So the number one is inflammation. And inflammation is more, you could say, your total toxic load. So it could be the diet that you're eating. If it's high in processed fats and processed foods as general, high in sugar, that will create a lot of cellular inflammation because it creates, it stimulates the insulin and estrogen and cortisol levels. Also your stress, obesity, the medication, if you're sleeping or not sleeping well, all of those have an impact on the toxic load and inflammation in your body. I want to talk a little bit more about stress. So stress, when you experience stress, you release a hormone called cortisol. So cortisol is secreted by the adrenals. And cortisol is needed to to get you going. So in the morning when you wake up, you have to secrete cortisol to be able to go about your day and function properly. So it is needed. It's when it's in abundance or it's too much. That's when it becomes a problem. And when it gets over-secreted is when you're overly stressed. So you have a boss at work that gets on your nerves. When you're driving to work, you can't stand the traffic. It's like you're on edge. You can't sleep at night because you're thinking of everything that happened during your day, the kid's busy schedule. You might have a stressful relationship. All of those combine, and if you're not able to deal with them, you don't have any mechanism like breathing and breathing techniques or meditation or yoga or anything that you do in your life to be able to feel relaxed, then cortisol is always high in your body. And the thing about cortisol is it's your fat-producing hormone. So cortisol produces body fat. And obesity, like when you are carrying a lot of extra body fat, fat cells produces cholesterol. So it adds to the bottom line of your total cortisol floating in the body. And so when you have high levels of cortisol, then you're not able to calm down. And that's disrupting the natural flow of all your glands. So medication, the fourth point, is another stressor or disruptor in the body. Because medication, especially the corticosteroids, for allergies and skin rashes. So when you're on a long-term use of corticosteroids, what they do is they suppress the adrenals. So they stop them from doing their job. So basically the brain is saying to the adrenals, hey, we need cortisol, we need you to do your job, but the adrenals are saying, no, I'm covered because medication is stopping me from doing that job. So that's basically how that works. So over time, long-term use of these medication will suppress the adrenals, and the adrenals have a very specific function, and they're needed in the body. So if they're not able to release cortisol, then you're going to feel depressed, or you're going to feel tired, and you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have any pick up and go. I don't know why. I sleep well, but that could be one of the disruptors. Sleep. Put sleep there as a disruptor, because if you're not sleeping properly, you're not able to regenerate and during the night. So that's where all the repair of your body, all the restoration happens during the night. And another point to consider too, which can throw everything off, if you're someone who's having a hard time not falling asleep, but have a hard time losing weight, and you're not a great sleeper. So if you carry weight, you're secreting too much cortisol. Cortisol is your pick up and go hormone, so it wakens you up. It's like it makes you anxious, so you're not able to sleep at night. And during the night is when you burn fat. So 98% of fat loss happens in the delta phase, in the REM cycle, like you have a 90-minute cycle. In the delta phase, That's where 98% of your fat loss happens. And this gets disrupted. So if you're not sleeping well, 4, 5, 6 hours is not enough to be able to regenerate at your optimal level. So just to tell you that the disruptors are, those are the things that can interfere with your health, and many symptoms, oftentimes, if it's a client that comes in and they have, they're on Synthroid, or their thyroid is not working well, and they're on medication and they're still feeling tired, most often time, it's the adrenals that are not functioning at their peak, and it could be due to any of those disruptors. So when we assess as a holistic nutritionist, we assess the whole lifestyle, not just the diet. That's just one component. But we start with the diet, because cleaning or having a healthy diet that creates low inflammation and that promotes sleep because we balance the neurotransmitters, then you have a proper detoxification at the kidney level and at the liver and in the liver. So that's where your detoxification happens, but you don't detoxify before you're on a good diet. So that's basically how that works. If you have any questions, my email is below, or you can contact me through the website, and I'd be happy to answer all your questions. So I will see you in my next video, and it will be, the topic will be between comparing thyroid and adrenals and how they closely work together. So I'll see you in my next video.